Okay. Let's go. How are we doing on this? What's that screen say? Says 11 to 16 inches of snow on Sunday. So a foot of snow. Hopefully we don't get any ice. Hopefully those of you that are gonna get some ice, keep power. Um, I'll be straight up with you guys. You know we got two football games and a hockey game on Sunday. Looking at the forecast and where the ice is supposed to be, um, just everybody just put the good juju out because the ice forecast in this area is not it's not good. It's not good for us having power here Monday. that's 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 just the way of it. So we'll just we'll heat the house up as much as we can, try to get it to 70, 72 degrees in here. And then if we lose power, it'll probably take we probably can have if we lose power as cold as it's going to be and the house is 70, it'll probably take about 12 hours before it dips below 50 in the house. So that gives us some time. How is everybody doing? So, Colin, the Finns have requested an interview with the Texans head coach, quarterbacks coach for the offensive coordinator today. Rivers is interviewing for the Bills. Now, you said Rivers and McDaniel are interviewing for the Bills head coach job, but I thought McDaniel already got hired as the Chargers offensive coordinator. So are they actually allowing him to go interview with the Bills? Or has he not signed a contract there yet? Hungry, how you doing, bud? Talks between the Marlins and Kyle Stowers, the only player positioned worth the damn on the team, have stalled after they traded away two players that could have replaced them. Yeah, don't put yourself in a stupid position, right, Hungry? You don't trade away the replacement until after you've signed the guy. Everybody knows that. Hey, Shines. Latest projections show the West having four teams in the playoffs that will have less points than the 8th seed in the East. Is what it is. Scientists, good to see you, bud. Stolars is back from injury. Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. We want him to do well, just not that well against us. No, I heard about OEL, but I didn't hear about Carlo and Tanev. Yeah, exactly, Hungry. Hey, Milligal. Yeah, we got into the playoffs with 92 points a few years ago and made the cup. The West was loaded. Just have to make the best of our situation. 100%. McDaniel didn't officially sign so he can take a head coach job. Otherwise, he's the Chargers. Gotcha. Hey, Mike. Hey, Jameson. No headache today. Won't tell anybody. No headache. I woke up without a headache, and so far, so good. So we'll hopefully we finish the day that way. Hey, Simon. So what did we have last night? I know we had a mixed bag. Let's see what status we are at now. The Jackets beat the Stars. Blackhawks beat the Hurricanes in the shootout. Sabres beat the Canadiens, which we'll talk about that. Bruins beat the Knights. Panthers over the Jets. Preds beat the Sens. That's good. The Penguins beat the Oilers, which is not good. And the Wings got a point in overtime against the Wild. So where that puts us is 55 points. So we're still obviously 5 points out of the 8th seed. And at least now we're ahead of a few other teams. And we're 2 points behind the Leafs with the game in hand. And we're 5 points behind the Bruins for the 8th spot with 2 games in hand. So we're still surviving. Now, the interesting thing here with the Sabres beating the Canadiens yesterday is that puts the Sabres at 2 points out of the third spot in the division and a game in hand against Montreal. So it's getting to the point now where the Sabres, like it's a little bit more than just a random winning streak here. They might actually be halfway decent now. The interesting thing about all of it is that if the Panthers can get healthy, I still feel like we should be winning the conference if we're healthy, depending on what level Barkov is actually at. Oh, this eye has been bothering me all day. My apologies. All right, let's see. Simon, we're winning all the games. That's my prediction. My prediction is hopefully I get to see the game on Sunday, because by then we'll have a foot of snow on the ground. And the ice that we're supposed to get is supposed to be like in the evening time. So I don't know. Let's talk about a slow burn game that turned into flames. We consistently had 3 back to help Tarasov. Guys were on assignments all around. Very sound defensive game from them. Feels good to get the W. Yeah, and that's exactly what we were noticing was we're always, are we playing that more defensively sound style more for Tarasov than Bobrovsky? And if so, why are we not playing that way for Bobrovsky? I understand the theory being you want to help Tarasov out a little bit, but why not Bobrovsky? Why are we hanging him out to dry? Scientist says, I don't know what Mikkola has going on, but it's definitely not an injury. He was on fire last night. He definitely looked good last night. No doubt. No doubt. Dietrich says, looks like Tarasov's teammate called him Terry. Hearing yesterday's post game, Terry 2 or just Terry? It would just be Terry, right? Terra save. Dietrich says Panthers have to win like 20 of their next 30 to supposedly to make it. I don't know. Shine says, we've just been too bad on ourselves. Cats have dropped at least one game to the current 17, 18, 19, 22, 26, 28, 30th, and 31st teams in the standings. That was all before Bubba made the guarantee. Now, do you notice that's actually further proof that Maurice watches the recaps? It's no coincidence that as soon as Bubba guaranteed that we're making the playoffs, that Maurice played Tarasov instead. That's not on accident. Hungy says, I'll take 2-1 boring wins over what they've been doing with Bob on the ice. Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. So, hopefully we can just win all the games. I know that sounds like a lot, but we need to get on a roll here. Trent says, the more I watch the Wings, the more I think they're really good. I think they will get second in the Atlantic. Gibson has really been good. Yeah, we definitely, if we make it in, definitely going to have some different opponents this year. That's for sure. Greg says, defensive versus Jets is common. They were just matching the Jets style. Yeah, that makes sense. Trent says, when I start Tarasov against the Wild, Mythical says Tarasov just seems to be a little faster on his reflexes and positioning. All he's lacking is that fight instinct Bob has. Wish he would drop the gloves. And then Jason says Tarasov is just making those big timely saves. He is. There's no way around it right now. Like, there's just no way around it. He's at 906 and 263, which is interesting. His save percentage didn't really go up much yesterday. I mean, he's lost some games where we haven't scored a ton. We know that. But, his numbers are wildly better than Bobrovsky's. So, I mean, it's just, you can account for some of that with some bad luck with Bubba. And there were some things last night, like Tarasov punched a puck out with his paddle, and instead of it landing right on the stick of the opponent, Reinhart was right there in the middle and he cleared the puck. There's things like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, Scheifele came in, and if that was Bobrovsky, Scheifele roofs that shot over Bob's shoulder, not a chance in the world. But instead, it was Tarasov, and so Scheifele flubs the shot, and it goes weakly wide. So there's some things there where sometimes you're just not having any luck. I think more than anything, that's where Bobrovsky is right now. Terry, gotcha, Dietrich. Yeah, we got Chicken Chuck now. Oh, what I play? Who are the two games? It's the Wild. Hold on a second. It's the Wild and the Blackhawks. Well, I wonder. I don't know, honestly. I think you're most likely going to see Bob against the Wild and then Tarasov against the Blackhawks. I suspect that's what's going to happen. Hungry says, did I see Brady after Stamkos scored for the Hattie? He looks fed up. You think his days in Ottawa are counted? Huh. Stamkos trying to make his way on somebody's team. Exactly, Real. Come on down to South Florida. Tennis says if you exclude the Olympic break, trade deadline, 3 game day weeks away. Well, the biggest questions for us, I mean, it's going to be so hard. There is really the chances. There's really a possibility that Zito ends up making some moves that maybe in hindsight don't look fantastic. And what I mean by that is he is going to have to make his decisions based on what Barkov and his doctors are telling him and what Nosek and the doctors are telling him. Put out a video earlier today. I think you might just see a situation where Nosek stays on LTIR. There's so many considerations when you get to the point where you don't want to lose certain players. Hey, JC. That's quite the greeting there, JC. Don't blame me if you ain't getting laid. Are you looking in the mirror again, JC? I can't imagine us getting Brady, to be honest, going from a C to nothing might be too much of an ego hit for him. I hadn't thought about that. You haven't slept in prepping for this storm. I had to dig new trenches to bury the sprinkler. Oh, geez. Yeah, you might end up in worse shape than we are, JC. You guys are going to get more ice. But there's like, if you look at the storm as it moves north and you see there's the snow, and then you see where there's the ice, and then there's that middle band in the middle that's like a mixture of snow, sleet, and ice. That's us. That's us. Like after we get a foot of snow on Sunday, then Sunday night, it's supposed to be like some snow, some sleet, some ice, a mixture of all three. So good luck to us. Good luck to us waking up Monday morning with power, man. That's all I know. JC says on the right side, I may be able to play hockey in the yard. Hey, Autismo. I think Gadjevich is getting close to ready, but I don't think we're supposed to see him till after the Olympic break. Yeah, we're getting 18 inches and you're getting solid ice. And that stuff fluctuates. So for us here, if the forecast fluctuates 5 or 10 miles one way, remember I'm right on the bay, so we get like you can't predict what's going to happen here. We get funky weather coming off of the bay. David, it's like 82 and sunny here with a nice breeze. Let me fix my glasses. Yeah, I agree. Brady, Craig says Brady playing with his brother would calm any issues without giving up the sea. Kenny says the storm, if you add wind chill, it's negative 33 degrees here. Jesus. Well, I will tell you this, Kenneth. I'll take negative 33, but the power and the heat is on versus the 8 degrees we're going to have, but no power and no heat. I will take the negative 33 and a space heater all day long before I take 8 and it's dark in the house. Leading says Smarter returns tonight and just was leaked. He's talking to Vegas players and their wives during Four Nations already, planning to bail on us. That's wild. Hey, Vincent. People have tried to warn me, but they're all wrong, and I'm right. So that's it. That's my opinion on Sam Miscavige. They're wrong, and I'm right. Scientist says Papiti estimates both Gadjevich and Jones return February 26th. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Jones until after the Olympic break. Yeah. Brisk 97 degrees with 98%. Jesus, hungry? Can you send some of that in a box our way? David says, if I didn't already work on both my days off, I'd have called out today and hit the beach, but I don't want to screw up the overtime. Exactly. Sean says it might be like a Schwint-Kachuk situation when they both come back the same week. Well, we have like I said, the possibility exists that in order to make sure we can keep Schwint, we might have to send Sam Miscavige to the AHL for the end of the season. Just depends on what they want to do. I see Martyr wanted to go to Florida, was on his list. Well, we were never going to have that kind of money. That's for sure. Vincent says, we got to point fingers at you, when that happens. Of course. Of course. And if it doesn't, I'll point them back. It's all good. I know how it works. All right, let's put it this way. Whether or not it happens, I think it'd be stupid to do it unless you're getting somebody back in return that is going to be a long-term, like Brady Tkachuk. If Sam Miscavige is part of a deal to get Brady Tkachuk here, I'm like, okay, kid, good luck. You know what I mean? But as to get some kind of rental to help this team now, if Barkov's not going to be in, that just seems stupid to me. Especially when you can just send them down to the AHL and with waivers. JC says, I feel horrible for San Dude is trying but can't put it in the back of the net. It just won't go. His shot percentage, my God. Come on, Mackie. I bet you it's below 3 at this point. His shot percentage is 3.8, so it's not below 3. But crying out loud, kid. Come on. Come on, man. Hey, look, at least he's not like taking a bunch of penalties, right? He's had 8 penalties all season. Lord knows he draws a lot of penalties. He's taking a lot more shots this year than last year, too. It just won't go in. Samuel's making it easy on himself to send him down to the AHL or trade him. He can't score to save his life. I don't know. I don't know, JC. I don't know about that one. Leading says, will the Lightning have the same highly desirable status for trades like Florida gets now that Tampa's going for another cup? I mean, maybe. Maybe. You know, as long as Vasilevsky can prove that he's still got it in the postseason. Shine says, I don't think I'll be sad if Mackey goes, but if he's still here, he has not done any favors for a raise. And that's for sure. Yeah. Real says, I don't want to trade him. He needs another full year with the team, but also trade him for Brady. Yeah, I mean, like if Brady called up and be like, I'm sick of this shit, and Ottawa was like, look, we want Samoskevich and Vilmanis for Brady, the only answer at that point is like, well, you can have one of them in Verhaeghe because we need to clear the cap space. Craig says, Mackey looked way better last night. He'll catch fire soon. Eventually. Vincent says, how about it? It will give us a cup. Samo cannot do that for us this year. We can't outscore the Az. Could we defend again? It's exhausting and doubtful. I mean, Samuel's not going to win us a cup this year. No. Matthew says, loves Samuel's skating ability and skill there. Got to get some meat on those bones. Doesn't grandma feed him? JC says, for Brady, since Samoskevich, Verhaeghe, and Benning. Yes, Samoskevich is not going to get a ton bigger. They list him right now at 5'11", 180. I mean, maybe he could add 5 pounds to that. How big is Rodriguez? 5'11", 182. Like, you look at the difference in how physical Rodriguez is able to be versus Samoskevich. It might be a core strength issue there. And I mean, look at Marchand, 5'9", 180. So, I mean, he weighs the same as the rest of these guys that are not getting pushed around for the most part. Looking to see if there's any other comp here. Boquist is a little bit bigger, right? Yeah, 6'1", a buck 91. JC says Samuel reminds me of a watered-down Marchment. He's got more skill than Marchment, though. Erod's got dad strength, right? Now, Mythical is correct. Samuel is good at drawing penalties with his speed like Duke did for us. Yeah. So Mythical says, well, I predict Samoskevich has more playoff experience this year or Maurice will send him back down. It's going to depend on – I put out a video earlier. There's some really different ways to look at this. Yes, technically you can send Samoskevich down to the AHL. Now, if I'm making a playoff roster right now and Barkov is back, I'm going to go Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, Greer, Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand, and Schwint with Gadjevich and Cunnin, and have Samoskevich off the ice. If you're forcing me to make a roster right now that's cap compliant, remember, we can't afford Rodriguez. I think the way things have been played out right now, as much as I like Samoskevich, if you're in the playoffs, you'd be stupid to not put Greer with Bennett and Kachuk because that's had success. Science says, I think you called the correct move in your video. Gadjo and Jones active from Manis to AHL and two minimum wage guys on waivers, most likely Bornfoot, Sabrango, or Cunnin. Right. Craig says Smacky needs to get married and start making babies. Yeah, that'll hold us down until the trade deadline. Exactly, scientist. Yeah. If I had to choose waiver, Sabrango or Bournefoot, Bournefoot will clear for sure. Sabrango, there's a slight chance he wouldn't. Vincent says, you like this roster? It's in the pudding. We need a winger. I was saying if Barkov comes back, it doesn't matter what we need, Vincent. It matters what we can afford. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter what we need. We can't afford much of anything. And then to get anything, you're going to have to send Cap out because with we don't have, it's just a disaster. It's just, I mean, yeah, you can send Boquist out. Okay. But if Barkov comes back, I mean, can you go get somebody instead of Greer on that second line with Bennett and Tkachuk? Yeah, maybe. Like scientist says, we already have more guys than we could keep. You start to get into, then you're going to have to do things like sending Schwint on waivers, and I don't really think Schwint is going to clear waivers. There's a decent chance he wouldn't. Hey, Tariffs, how we celebrate when this channel hits 10K? Hopefully, it'll time out with a first round playoff win for the Panthers. That's what I'm hoping. We got another little stink bug friend here. He's just climbing right in front of me. There was a question here. In terms of the offseason, Miami, I wouldn't even want to try to guess at all, bud, because we don't know what we're going to do with Bobrovsky. We don't know if Rodriguez is still going to be on the roster. Like, there's just way too many variables to think about where to start from next year to even look. Amos Davids. David says, I really, really, really hope Sasha comes back, but that's a serious injury and skating, not walking or running. I just don't see it realistically. What do you think we'll have in cap space next season? Should we resign or let Bob go? That's a tougher question right now, JC. It really is. There's also a third thing in there. Does Bob want to come back? I mean, there's no guarantee, right? Like, is he guaranteed that he wants to come back? He's 37. He'll be 38 at the start of next season. His numbers have clearly dropped off. Like, I know there's some circumstances there, but does he want to come back? That might not be a guarantee. Mike says that means we'd have to trade for Hagee for a player if Barkov doesn't come back. Well, no, that means we wouldn't have to trade for Hagee. If Barkov doesn't come back, we have the cap space to do something. Vince says, remember, this is 1.4 in cap space. Add that to Sam Miskevich, and that can be a solid player in the lineup. Not 775 guy, but that's the difference. You could ice a better team. Those numbers, I guess you're talking about if Barkov doesn't come back. Those numbers work now because Barkov's out. If you're talking about Barkov being out, yeah. But you don't need to trade Sam Miskevich to do it. You just move him down to the AHL. It just wouldn't make any sense to you're not forced to trade him. You're not married to You're not risking losing him for nothing if you send him down, is all I'm saying. Who has it worse, Miami or Buffalo? I don't know. JC, yeah, if he retires, that gives us $10 million right off the bat. I agree, scientist. Shine says Bob only made $70 million. I don't know how the poor fellow will eat if he quits. See, I like Craig's idea. I confuse myself with the numbers. Okay, Vincent. I know what you're talking about. You're saying we'd have 1.4 in cap space even if Barkov comes back. But problem is that you're not going to move. It wouldn't make it, even if you move Samoskevich. Yeah, you've got a little bit of play there for another winger. But I don't see I don't see the need. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Right now, if he doesn't come back, we get the full cap relief, Miami Sports. If he doesn't come back, it's the full 10. In terms of who isn't signed going into next season, Greer, Samoskevich. It's not many. In terms of guys that are not signed next year, Greer, Nosek, Cunnin, Samoskevich, and Petrie. Sabrango, Bornfoot. So in terms of your wingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like we already have, and of course you could send Vilmanis down, but we've already got a complete team for next season if we didn't sign anybody else. So Mythical says, of course, pretty much locked up. It's a cap space situation this year that's sticky. And that's it. Hey, SBH. Kenneth says, if Barkov doesn't come back, I think the more important question is, do you trade to make the playoffs or just pack it in and rest? Well, so if Barkov doesn't come back, the thing that I don't want to do is go giving away pieces of our future to try to get a player to make up for Barkov being gone. I don't think it's going to happen anyway. I think as long as he says that there's a chance he could come back, that the Panthers are going to leave that spot open for him, possibly. I just don't want to go giving away guys. So if you have Barkov out, you get the full $10 million. You're going to put Rodriguez on the ice. Yeah, you would have room to go get somebody to take Samuskevich's spot. Or maybe you want to upgrade at 3C, move Rodriguez into Samuskevich's spot. You could do that. But I don't want to give away guys. I really don't. I feel like over time, for the longevity, it'd be better for the overall team to hold on to our guys, hold Samuskevich, Schwint especially. Vincent says Bob's not retiring. He'll either be traded if they choke before the deadline and come back in the summer, or extend before July 1st. He's not taking less money. You think he won't take less than 10? I mean, he doesn't exactly have the numbers to negotiate right now, but I guess we'll have to see. Oh, yeah, David. Taves was looking pretty decent last night, right? If I had to pick between the Canadians and the Lightning in the first round, who would I rather face? Jesus. Probably Tampa. Probably Tampa. Only because Montreal just seems to have the luck against us, whatever you want to call it. Scientist says if Barkov goes on season-ending LTIR, leaving one roster spot open on the playoff on ice roster, with no Rodriguez or Boquist, will be left with $11.4 million. Right. So we could technically go get anybody we would want. It's just a matter of who we having to get up to get them. And then is it just a rental? I don't want to give up somebody to just be a rental. If you wanted to give up some guys to put Brady out there, yeah, but then next year we got problems, right? You could go get Brady Kachuk with that money, but then you got to tell Bob we can only give you $1 million next year. David says if Sasha goes on season ending, Erod will definitely stay in play. Yeah. I mean, it's just a bucket. It's a giant, impossible bucket. If Zito wasn't already bald, let me tell you, if he wasn't already bald before this season, it would have all fallen out this year. Dietrich, you say not the Lightning? Vincent says this team sucks. It does not affect money decision. Have you seen the goalie market? Montreal would give him 15 to be a starter in this league. All right. We'll see how it works out. We disagree, but that's okay. Dietrich, I mean, the theory is he still has a chance to come back for the playoffs. I mean, that to me is the most likely scenario. Real says he'd rather play the Canadians because they'd sweep us and we'd be out quick. Tampa would beat us in 7 after injuring us further to hell, and we wouldn't be healthy enough for the rest of the revenge tour next year. Miami says, I say Robertson and let them eat it. Then who will we trade? That's the thing. JC says, I love Bob. I'll even go as far as saying his jersey should be retired, but I don't think he's worth more than 5. Woo! I mean, I was going to give the man 7 or 8. Vincent thinks Montreal will give him 15. And that's the internet, right? That's the internet. Real says after that goalie fight, give Bob $20 million a year, trade everyone else. Yeah, Dietrich. David says no Bob, no cups. But I think Barkov would come back in the second round most likely. I think if he's coming back, that would be most likely. The most likely situation, yeah. Mythical would rather sign Skinner to a deal than sign Bob for 8. Craig says Bob 3x6 and 4-peat. See, I like that. We had looked at this a long time ago. Free agent goalies for next season. So from top to bottom in terms of salary, I mean, Carey Price is still listed there. Then you got Bob. After that, Mrazek, Fedotov, Anderson, Skinner, Talbot, Nedeljkovic, Connor Ingram, Kosa, Quick, Vanacek, Urson, Kaapo Kakinen, Marilainen, Calvin Pickard. It's not. Oh, we need to sign Cooper Black too, apparently. He's going to be 25 years old. He ever going to get called up? Dude, it's not a great big list. So I understand what Vincent's saying about the price for Bobrovsky could, but you're still talking about a guy that's going to be 38 years old. And I don't know. Vincent says it's funny how everybody on the Panthers team know who's the MVP on the roster. His channel's followers somehow can't figure that out. And instruct us, enlighten us, Vincent. Come on, man. Give us your opinion. OEL and Carlos skated at practice today. And Stolars will start. Good for him. Hopefully he stays healthy. Just not so much against the Panthers. Yeah, exactly. The MVP is clearly Eggplant. I agree, Mythical. I agree. Yeah, we got Skinner and win a cup with him. Edmonton would self-delete. Hey, communist. Appreciate that, bud. Yeah, we're facing everything. Exactly. Yeah, Chucky with the assist yesterday. Yeah. David says, it's just expected. Ironic, kind of sad that so many people just don't understand what has actually happened. Injuries decimated our team this year. We still have a champion's heart, but just not enough. JC, I think Swayman and Igor threw a wrench in the goalie contracts. They got paid handsomely without proving or winning or anything. Bob's camp would be okay to ask for 8 to 10 times 3. Oh, certainly. I mean, there's a difference what he could ask for elsewhere versus what we would hope he'd give us a hometown discount. That's all. Yeah. At least Swayman didn't get what he was asking for. Yeah, Boquist is the MVP right now. Well, look, we'll see how it all shakes out. Scientist says with the cap going up to 104 next season, we'll have enough to ice all our guys plus a $9 million guy. It's just that this season is the problem, and that's assuming Bob gets $10 million. Vincent thinks 11 would be a discount with the new cap. I mean, we're going to have the money to pay him whatever we need to pay him. It's just going to be a matter of, hopefully we haven't decimated and I don't suspect, would decimate the roster, trying to make something happen this year. I wonder what the next step in Barkov's rehab is. Like we were hearing things about Tkachuk taking this step. Haven't really heard a whole lot with Barkov. I know he was on the ice for the Winter Classic, but I'm just wondering, because we are getting close to February, and if he's supposed to possibly be able to maybe play hockey even at the end of April, you got to figure he would need to be skating February, March, and into April. Like you would figure you would see him starting to move around on skates at 8 to 10 weeks beforehand. Dietrich says Bedman effed us with the LTIR rule change. I thought he was on the Panthers payroll. Good point. I still can't believe that they just went ahead and did that after. I mean, it just seems so illogical after everybody has already done all their contracts and everything to just make that change. Scientist says, I say that next season is more important. I'd rather just survive this season and focus on building a juggernaut for the next. Neil says, I keep telling you guys, Bedman and Camo can't help us all the time. It would be too obvious. Dangle would have too much evidence. Yeah, exactly, JC. In theory, right. I mean, I don't suspect. I would assume Schwint is going to be in no six spot. I think. I agree with David. Yeah, lost internet. Jeez, Dave. It's not snowing there, is it? Yeah, and I mean the cap space is going to continue to go up, and that's the thing we've talked about is it is just this year. Right. Vincent says with that, they were saying Barkov was skating almost 2 months ago. Then we saw him at the Winter Classic. We need a progress report. They basically have a month left to know. Pretty much. That's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, we all hope that they keep it available for him to come back. We'll know, right? Yeah, Barkov is the force multiplier. He makes everybody better. It's just everybody slots in the way they're supposed to be. Now, I would think that if he does make it back in the playoffs, that you might see him at 3C for a game or two as he gets his legs and timing back underneath them. I don't think you just want to throw him back out there on the top line, game one, playoff hockey. He hasn't played all year, you know. But like I said in the video I put out earlier, there's a lot of different circumstances with who you're moving around. I don't want to lose Schwint too. And there could be some configurations of the roster where you do have to move Mackey to the AHL so that you don't have to risk exposing Schwint. JC says that's crazy to think even if we re-sign Bob to an 8x2, we would have close to $15 million in free space. That's one solid winger or a good D-man, good winger and a solid D-man. Oh yeah, next year we're gonna be in really good shape. We can basically do whatever we want. Especially upgrading over the bottom pair. Now, of course, we might want to get Tarasov a contract there too, right? Like, maybe we can finally pay our backup goalie to stick around. Scientist says we have so many guys locked in long term for 6 to 8 years and dirt cheap. With the cap going up, the team is only going to get better. Not just that, but as we move off of those guys one at a time, as you do start to have a little bit of roster reconstruction over the years, those contracts are very tradable. Even though it's no move clauses, the numbers, the prices are very tradable. Kenneth says no competitive hockey in 10 months would be tough on Barkov. 100%. Bleeding says TSN, Florida currently sits outside of a playoff spot. Is Florida running out of time to turn the season around? TSN Director of Scouting Craig Button and TSN Hockey Analyst Frank Coronado do not think so. I mean, removing everything from everything, we are 5 points out of the 8 seed with 2 games in hand. Like, it's not like we're 9 points out. I know it's still but if we win our games in hand, we're 1 point out of a playoff spot. Like, we're not like destitute on the side of the road here. We've got a couple issues, right? With a lot of teams we're competing with, but the reality of the situation is 1 4 or 5 game winning streak could put us in the 8th seed. And all we got to do is hold serve. Coffee, mythical. Yeah, Rio. $15 million in space is plenty of room for Brady. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The only problem with getting Brady is if you get him now, then Kachuk can't come back. And then next year we're in good shape. Sure. So that would be Barkov with Reinhardt and Verhage, Bennett with Kachuk and Kachuk, Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand, and then what do you want to do with the fourth line? Rodriguez with Schwinn or Sam Miskevich? You're not going to put Sam Miskevich on the fourth line. I don't know. Well, it would with that top nine, it wouldn't matter. Vincent says this year, after this year, Bob will be at 800 games. He's going to need 4 more years to reach 1,000. So you think he's going to go after 1,000 games? They don't think Florida will make it? They wrong. JC says the league will not allow us to sign Brady. Can we imagine all of our lines would have that one guy you hate to play against? No team would want to play against us. TSN keeps putting out stories about Florida being the team to allow the Sabres to break the longest playoff drought in the history of hockey. Why is it our fault? Why is it not Toronto's fault or Ottawa's fault? Why is it? That's wild. That's wild. Scientist, what do you ask about? Do I mean Barkov or Greer? Not sure if you were talking to me. How much do I think the break benefits us in February? I mean, I think for Bobrovsky, it's going to be good. That's one good thing. Did you see Mackey's face last night? He looks frustrated and annoyed. Yeah. I mean, I give Maurice props for not taking him out of the lineup. He's I mean, like last night there were 3 or 4 chances he missed on, but at that point they were the best 3 or 4 chances the team had all night. You know what I mean? Like he does create chaos. If the puck was going in at Hold on a second, I should be back. My Ethernet port stopped for a second there, but I should be good. Do I think Boquist out of the lineup is foreshadowing something? I mean, that certainly would make some sense, right? Like I said, Greer's emergence definitely helps there. Miami, I think if we ended up with Brady, I can't imagine they'd eat half of it. His contract is so long. I can't imagine that. But I don't suppose you're getting Brady Tkachuk without Samoskevich for Hagee and a 1 for Brady. Samoskevich for Hagee and a 1. Probably. They're not going to let us keep everybody. Yeah, exactly, Mythical. We should put up a Sabres banner at this point for how much they helped us. Florida Man says, my Bolts felt like a fraud last year. Sketchy defense and no depth. This feels different. I love to play you guys healthy in the first round. Premium hockey. Yeah, it'd be well, as long as Barkov comes back. I believe. What the hell? Have you lost your mind? Oh, for freaking hell. Hold on a second. Really, dude? Really, dude? Get out of here. What are you doing? All right, hold on a second. Stink bug flew right into my water. Jeez. Now I got to wash that out. Well, we're almost done that because I've been drinking that water quick today. Yeah, Martian is with the team. Yeah. Chicken says, I was really upset to see Lomberg go, but Greer has become more than a replacement. He can actually score and shoot semi-consistently and doesn't have the downside of being short. Yeah, Greer is definitely good. It's been important. Dietrich says, don't you dare trade playoff Swaggy. Yeah, it was a protein. Yeah, exactly, Kenneth. Yuck. Yuck. No, definitely don't want stink bug in my water. Jeez, man. Did he let it go too? No. All right. Now I gotta wash my damn thing. Gotcha, David. No, I mean, I don't see how we could get. I guess if Barkov wasn't coming back, we wouldn't have to trade for Hagee for him. Because if Barkov's not coming back and you get Brady, does that win us a cup? If Barkov doesn't come back and it's Lundell, Lusterine, and Reinhardt, if Barkov didn't come back, where would you put Brady Tkachuk? Because it really becomes a situation where you really should at that point break up Lundell and Lusterine, right? Like Lundell with Tkachuk, with Brady and Reinhardt, Bennett with Matthew and Verhaeghe, Rodriguez, Lusterine, and Marchand. Huh. Chicken says we take enough penalties, so we really need Brady. Trent says with Bennett and Lundell and Brady. Well, you can't do that because that's too many centers. You got to have Bennett and Lundell on separate lines. Scientist says you can't break up Lundy and Lusty. That's illegal. See, that's where you end up. Yeah. Leave it to us to find a problem if we got Brady Tkachuk, right? Vincent says cap-wise, there's not much difference there, right? They can put E2 at 3C. So if E2 is at 3C, yeah, cap-wise, there's not much difference. We could probably fit that in. So it would still be Lundell, Lusterine, Reinhardt, Bennett with Tkachuk and Tkachuk, which gives you Rodriguez with Verhaeghe and Marchand as your third line. Okay, you could do that. That would help, right? Do you win a cup with that? I mean, it's never going to happen, but Mythical says it's a great time to be a Panthers fan, make 3 straight cups, and wonder where Brady fits into our system. Mythical, that's exactly it, man. That's exactly it, Mythical. It's like, where would we put Brady Tkachuk? Yeah. No, that would work. If you're going to do that, then I would give up, like I said, Samoskevich and Schwinn. I mean, if we don't have to give up Schwinn, I mean, they're going to want Samo, right? And they're going to want a first that we don't have. I don't know. Don't know. All right, everybody, I got to roll. I got to get back out into town. There's some things. I got to go get dog food, some things I still got to finish getting ready around here, set up all my heaters and everything, get the house smoking, the pancake hot by Sunday morning, really, Saturday evening. Soflo says, you think we can get 12 to 16 points before the Olympics? This is the opportunity that we have to get on a little bit of a run. We have to do it. I know last night didn't look spectacular, but 2 points is 2 points, and we'll take it. Yeah, you too, JC. Now, I'll still be here live at noon tomorrow. Not supposed to be any bad weather here tomorrow. Yeah, Mike, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. You know me, I try to make everybody happy. I end up not making anybody happy. All right, scientists, appreciate you. Can we trade Gadjevich? I wouldn't make any sense to do that. JC, the stores are bare. No, I know. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I'll still be here live at noon tomorrow. Everybody enjoy your day. Be safe. Go because a lot of you, well, not in Florida, but I know some of you were getting ready to get socked in by this weather. I'll keep you guys. I'll have my phone all charged up. Hopefully Sunday goes well. That's all I can say. All right, everybody. Enjoy your night, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon.